Fala galera, welcome to episode 2 of Strategy 2 series. In this one, I'm going to explain the differences between strategy library and web. To start with, let me go back to strategy software webpage. And here, as I did in the first video, let me ask a question. What's the main difference between strategy library and web? I know everyone can ask this question, and then there is like an explanation here saying that strategy library is primarily focused on providing a centralized location for users to access, manage, and share their analytics content, such as dashboards, reports, and data sets, while strategy web is geared towards delivering web-based analytics and reporting capabilities. All right, so this is the website definition. This is the documentation definition. But again, as I did previously, let me show you the way I see the differences in between these two different tools and strategy. So let me start with library. As you can see here, I'm connected to a library environment. It's web-based, like web, by the way. And the first thing we notice is that the UX is being revamped, is brand new compared to web. We have in the left corner some blades available. We start with the home blade, and here we can see our content. We can find our dashboards, our bots, all these content that has been saved before. Notice that we also have the favorites option or blade, where we can easily see the ones that we tagged as being our favorite dashboards in this case. We also have the recent one, the ones we've been opening lately. We can take snapshots or have snapshots taken and available here. We also have bookmarks. We can define default groups, look at here, and we can create our own groups. There's also an insights blade, subscriptions. We also have data, and then here in data what we see are mosaic models, which will be the subject of another video later. Right? Finally, we have the browse folders option, and here we can see all your all your folders available in the project. On the right corner of the window, what we have are a few buttons or options like this one here, create new. And this is a new experience for creating new objects in strategy compared to web. By clicking on this button, we can create new dashboards or new reports or new bots, maybe new mosaic models or AI data collections, which again, all those things I'll be explaining in other videos. We also have here a notifications icon, and we have the multi-select option, so we can select more than one object. Finally, we have the account icon that allows us to perform a few actions while in library. Like for example, take a tour. As you can see here, we can then skip this one and go back to account and see some of the available options. Finally, you can log out. So in a nutshell, this is library, your consumption tool and strategy via web in a web browser that allows you to see your content in a much easier way than if we compare with other tools. Now, on the other hand, we have old legacy tool called MicroStrategy Web or Strategy Web. This is the one, as you can see here, most folks that use the strategy, they are familiarized with this tool right here. Again, web-based, all you have to do is leverage it from a web browser. And on the left corner, you have the create button. And in here, you can start creating new dashboards, new reports, new documents, custom groups, metrics, prompts, filters, folders. You can add external data to your environment. You can either upload a strategy file or a dashboard. Notice that we also have a few navigation options like the recents, as you can see here, or shared reports, where you can see all the folders available in your project. You can also go and click My Reports to see your own content, My Objects, in case you create any metrics, any filters, they will be here, your history list, and finally your subscription. It also contains a link to library, which makes it easier to navigate from one tool to another. All right? So on the right corner of the window, we have this search option right here, allowing us to search for objects like dashboards, reports. And finally, we have our preferences on the top right corner. You click here your login, you see preferences, you can provide feedback, you can go to help, you can ask for more information, and finally you can log out. The way you navigate in library is basically very similar to what you do in a Windows operating system. You see folders here like business roles, you click in there, and then you see subfolders. You keep navigating until you find the report or dashboard that you want to run. All right? So these are the main differences between strategy and library. Library being the most modern one, and strategy continues to deliver or to develop new features, web being the legacy feature. Now, if you were to be asking me which one I prefer, I would certainly say library. It's true there are some things in web that are not in here yet, but I can create them in web or maybe in workstation and later leverage library like my consumption layer. Anyways, I know that some folks still leverage web, but I strongly recommend people to try the new feature library, which by the way is not new. It's been like here for years already, and it's pretty useful, pretty straightforward to use. All right, so these are my thoughts on library versus web. Which one is your preferred option? So let me know down here in the comments, and I hope to see you at the Strategy Corner in some of our next videos. Thanks again.